a lot of people have also been watching for a number of years and looking at how effective he's going to be. I do believe we're about ready for the game, though, so that's always a bonus that we're not having to wait too long for the action here, of course, between sAw and Sangal. Anubis will be our first map, will be our starting off point. But we'll see here how it pans out. Not the best map classically for sAw. Maybe they've been doing some work ahead of the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look and see. Heading in towards this one, of course, will be Sangal on that CT side. sAw starting on the T side. No real differences, I guess you could say, by this one. Pretty standard stuff. Very slow build up here as well. 2 towards A, 3 towards B for the T side. But it's that bomb at the back of Irish Dosh. Over towards SaMeyo is going to be tested in a second.
Jota holding around the corner here. Yeah, it certainly looks like they're going to come his way a little quick with it, trying to get ahead of the smoke. Clean headshot onto Jota here. U-Jerks closing that gap and trying to just figure out where everyone's at. There's actually nobody around right now on this B bomb site. So a very interesting round that we've got ourselves. Sangal sending the vast majority of players actually through mid and their fourth main in the end, which is a really tough fight. Another clean headshot landing. And Rozdosh will actually be the first one to fall, but so much damage has been done here. Kills being converted by the CT side. However, oh my goodness, oh, not a single kill coming in at all from them, in fact. Oh, they do get one just at the end. I think it's a team kill, though, isn't it? It's not necessarily a sAw frag. Absolutely ridiculous stuff there on B. And yeah, they'll see kind of the damage come up after the game and be like, oh man, if only that pistol had gone our way. We'll see if it's going to have a big effect here.
It's a good start, though, isn't it, right, for Sangal, in the sense that they actually back themselves in these retakes. Getting in towards the fights, kind of at least playing this sort of pack mentality where they can trade off each other. It worked well, but still question marks about sAw. Like you mentioned, no kills in a post-plant. It's pretty dicey. Really not too comfortable for them. Nobody finding any form. That's just probably just showing a little bit cold in terms of the aim. Maybe not enough time in the DM before heading in towards this official. And Sangal, anything but good start there for youngsters too. 3 kills to his name. Probably of all the players here on this Sangal roster, you would say he's probably the one with the least amount of name value behind him, but a very talented player. Managed to catch one of his games. He's pretty impressive. He was a new name to me before being signed to this roster. He's looking at pretty damn good. 3 for him. 2 for Jota. Jota has been making his name value being known really well as well.
Oh. Just chilling here on the edge of the smoke. Will actually get spammed down, and a little bit of a missed timing for xFloud. Still gets 3 out of him, though. At the end of the day, all right, I was going to say, if we get any more kills or a bomb plant, I think we're pretty happy. They're not going to win the round, but that is a lot of work done by sAw, considering the small investment made, and now into the big investment.
So, 2-0. Nice to Sangal. Good to see individual prowess there out of xFloud. He is the longest kind of lasting player on Sangal, at least in terms of someone who's been with the organization for quite a while. Individually looking pretty damn good. So, into the buy here. Now we do need to see these individuals get active. Looking at story, we're also looking at individuals. Now, U-Jerks, very talented rifler, but can blow very hot and cold. And Irish Dosh, who actually, when U-Jerks gone missing, they've been relying on him quite a lot. X are going to go aggro here.
Looking for that first frag. Not going to happen, though. CT side absolutely melted. A little bit of an awkward kind of angle there to deal with the Sangal push, but at the end of the day, nothing comes off for them. So sAw starting off very, very well here into the first rifle, and I think if anybody else goes down for this CT side, it is going to be round over.
Jota just playing around donut here, trying to keep them at bay in this 5 versus 3. It's quite well played from sAw as well. They're gonna quite take that opening double kill. They don't commit to the A side. They're actually calling this perfectly. The bomb's rotating back over towards B, and no one's home. I think the second that bomb does go down, Sangal, you probably just call for a save. I don't think it's even worth giving it a go. Don't really have the money to even risk it. And yeah, it's actually a really nice mid-round adjustment there by the sAw side. opening couple of kills, get a bit of information, bomb goes down, and over the other side, they just know that it's not worth the risk of committing to a site in which they've made a lot of presence known. It's good work. Coming for sAw, they're going to put their first round on the board. And good again to see two of those individuals that we spoke of, Irish Dosh and Story. Patience is a virtue for them as they get a nice couple of kills. So 2-0. Now turn 2-1. And I guess the only positive thing here for Sangal is they get the chance to re-buy it back in. 3 staying alive. Easily done in terms of they can probably try and make something work here, but it's a question of the how, right? Does Jota probably need to drop one over? And then it's a question of do they even actually want to risk the force, or do they want to just play off the back of what they've got? They are going to go for the force. Double eco situation, I guess, for X-Flowers is probably worthwhile. He gets MP9. And that's what they're going to try and work with here. It's not the best buy, but I still think forcing around 3Z rifles is better than half buying such ecoing here and then having a little bit of a janky half buy to full buy in the next round. You're going to lose, just reset the economy. Give yourself some stability.
Utility raining in early, but nothing really coming off too much. As you say, a swing round. Sangal tried to pull off some aggression in the previous. One of the, I suppose, nice things, the solace that you can take out of a round like that is that, okay, it didn't work, so let's just not do that again and, you know, go for something a bit different. They actually do manage to find their first out towards the A site, actually with the aggression, so finding success this time. A little bit of a change up on it rather than contacting in. They went for a flash play instead.
For now, goes eerily quiet. Under a minute to work with. A move being made here. A Story starting to creep his way forward. SaMeyo not playing a contact play here. He's only looking. Get some information, drop out a util. Simple stuff. 2 across though. He'll know about that. So smoke comes down, but they're going to get out in front of it.
Oh, looking good here for the CTs. They're a little aggressive on that sAw end. Do you necessarily need to rush in? Maybe a bit desperate for the move. And it has not worked. Bomb's been dropped as well in all this, so absolutely no chance for Roman. Oh, youngster, a little slow to react on it. Maybe caught looking at his mini-map, and it does cost him his life, giving Roman a clean chance at that fight. But with only 10 seconds, 4 players, and like I mentioned, no bomb, absolutely no chance. So, not the most awkward AK save in the world. Definitely could be a lot worse than this. He will be able to, you know, buy the utility, even out his personal economy pretty well, actually.
Sure.
But losing out on the round there, not nice for sAw.
Yeah, I think like you said, they just get a little, I don't know, giddy in terms of that pushing through the smoke. I feel like once you got that information on one playing to his camera, if he's playing with you in hand, you should expect somebody's there to take first contact. Up on Sangal, they're going to get away with it. Good work, and as for sAw, it's not the end of the world. Buy back in. Story going to get his AWP. It's all of the positives, but you're giving Sangal opportunities. He's build upon a pretty solid CT side on what is, quote unquote, the most T-sided map, right? For me, is a big thing to take into account. X-Loud playing up close here, right idea. Swing and a mere Irish Dosh, just lightning fast.
Very, very bouncy so far. I mean, yeah, this is maybe the first round that we've seen kills go back and forth rather than it being one-sided, but still pretty good for sAw. And they have plenty of options available here. So we'll see. I do like the look of where this is at. Looking to lean in towards the B-bomb site for both teams, right? So could get a bit messy out here. Jota trying to trade things back, but Ujoke's been waiting for that opportunity for a long, long time. Linus shows himself, so they're actually going to ditch and go A. Not sure that the CTs will be able to get here quite quick enough, although they are sort of crossing each other a little bit. I think Roman will hear this sound, know what's going on, be able to communicate a bit of information, and although again, doesn't get the kill. He's done his job pretty nicely there. And second time of asking, he will actually find it.
LNZ. Only one of us was camera. Flash will unfortunately get himself. So down. Oh my god, he gave him a chance. Oh, and he probably would have got it if he doesn't run out of ammo. My god, Story sticking around for the fight there. Very nearly cost him. Has a kit. This is doable. He's just trying to find the fight. Tap on towards the bomb. No presence being shown. Story just knows. So aware. LNZ just got to pick up and upgrade to an AK. And fall away. Story should be okay surviving. And he will. With the AWP in play there. My god, if LNZ has 3 more bullets in the chamber, he probably wins that round. Just the back of winning the 1v2. They give him the fight. They give him the opportunity to trade and to isolate. And before you know it, it very nearly fell apart. Sora quite lucky there.
Timeout being taken. And indeed, maybe for that SaW side of things, they need to just iron it out. A few kinks there. As you can see, and as you may well know, this is Sangal's map pick. Pretty decent for them. Not great for SaW. It's kind of the punish point for this SaW side at the moment, actually. And Sangal have been really spamming it, although not, you know, the cleanest. They've not got loads and loads of wins racked up. You would imagine that they're going to be much more comfortable on it than SaW are.
Yeah, a bit of a conversation being had here. Only a 1-round game, though. Absolutely doable considering what Sangal's finances look like. Got an MP9 out of Vamas coming through. It's not the best of situations. I have to see what things look like, but it's a tough buy. You're going to have to try and get a little proactive here with your Sangal for me. Got to get those MP9s up close and personal. Not the easiest fight either, right? Got to try and... I think if you play a default for Sangal, you might get overwhelmed just in terms of firepower. Story is the advantage of range. The AKs can pull you apart. The only one real caveat to that is Aristosh with this one Galil.
Cheeky little boost up on B. Certainly a fan of this boost, to be honest with you. I wish we did see it a little bit more. Very slow moving round here from SaW, I think. Obviously, they've taken the time out, they've worked it out. Maybe they're getting towards the bottom end of the playbook, as it were. So they have to really work the rounds out before going into them. Q-Jerks, though, has gone on a mission, and he's found himself a pretty free-looking mid-push. Not quite sure what else he's going to be able to find from here, though. Jota delivers him to the Grim Reaper, and here we are, 5 versus 4.
Getting so close to MP9 and that smoke. It's game! Oh, it's a team kill. Could have got worse, actually. Young's just going to try and make a move for that MP now, but he could be caught off guard here. He's in no man's land. Terrorist swing and a find. Young's still fall. And now it's all falling apart for Sangal, sadly.
Rosdosh hidden inside this smoke. Could end the round here and now. Yeah, definitely not going to happen then as Jota gets taken down. It is SaMeyo quite far away. So, SaW roll through that one a bit slower. Definitely, for my money, would like to see things pick up a bit faster. But, you know, it worked pretty well. The patience certainly paid off. SaMeyo might be able to save things here. But ultimately, SaW evening it up, you know, and once the rifles have come out, they've actually not looked too bad. Certainly not amazing, not mind-blowing, but they've held their own.
At the very least, not letting Sangal run away with things early and towards the CT side. SaMeyo saves an AK. That's all he's got to work with. And outside 3-all, like I said, that CT economy a little thin now. This game starts to open up for SaW. They're coming alive. Tough stuff. But I think for SaW, it just took a while for them to get going. So let's see. 3-all. This round basically feels like a non-existent one just for Sangal. Nothing around that AK-47, but a flash and an aid. See what they got to work with. They're going to come up close here for Irish Dosh, but again, no real early A main control being taken by sAw. They know that it's probably just not worthwhile in terms of pugging your way forward. You kind of lose the foot race there. Retaking it's always quite difficult. Irish Dosh is expecting a swing, and he would be right because they're kind of grouping up here to go for a little push. All 5 towards A too, and I'm sure sooner rather than later, sAw will realize nobody's home towards B.
Yeah, as that utility comes flying over the top, you feel like they would send someone in eventually. But, you know, bit of an anticlimactic round here, unfortunately, folks. Still, I think contextually things looking very, very good for sAw. Certainly they do feel like the stronger team at the moment. A lot more depth as a squad and certainly as a collection of individuals. Ooh. But to me, it feels like they should be able to take this kind of series, maybe regardless of map. I don't know. Anubis definitely is a big question mark for them. Looking good here as they clear up at the tail end of the round. That AK, of course, being a little bit annoying in the interim, but only a couple going down. Not going to be the end of the world, especially for a T side.
So, 4-3. At least there, little bit of a look in by Sangal at the tail end. You may as well just try and fly into the fight, but doesn't really do all too much. Lee built up here for sAw. They can chain a couple more in a row. They can actually get a really solid T-side half out of this. Win this one here. Get up to a 5. You break the economy again for Sangal, and that's what you can start saying. 5, 6, 7 rounds. Give yourself a lot to work with. It'll be broken. One spotted over towards back mid, but just gets out of dodge closely. Molotov will come through and tickles the toes of Youngster, but won't stick around to fight in the flames. They're going to come through as well. That does a good chunk of damage. Terrace keeping his attention drawn here.
Yeah, looking good for sure. And Youngster definitely is distracted away down there. We'll see if he goes in for a peek when this smoke disappears. Maybe no would be the answer, but they look for, you know, nice deep control of dark there with a low smoke. Bit easier indeed to, yeah, spam away and just show your dominance, I suppose.
LNZ, right idea. Swing. Now he's no quantity. Now should get overwhelmed. We'll get one for his troubles, though. Not terrible. They shot with the AWP. Might leave SaMeyo in a little bit of pressure. And yeah, that smoke comes down to slow him down, too. Flash won't really do anything towards X5. Irish dodges the contact play. And the contact play, which works. X5 gets caught back turn.
Ooh, nice from SaMeyo. However, still looking good here for sAw, and yeah, SaMeyo needed, I mean, at least one more, if not a couple. Not going to happen. sAw starting to string them together, starting to streak ahead here as well. Sangal stuck for ideas. This is, you know, a pretty big name for them. And sAw always, always good in these types of high-stakes qualification tournaments. You know, obviously this is a tournament that they've been playing for a long time now, as is the system of ECL, but when there's pretty big things on the line, whether it be Blast that we're seeing them playing at the moment, they've done multiple pro leagues, RMRs, eventually, you know, arguably could have been at 2 majors. It kind of just scales up for them. You know, they play a much, much cleaner game of Counter-Strike when it feels like there's some heavy stakes involved.
Yeah, I really do feel like for sAw, at least what we've seen in 2024, they've been a big team about playing up to their opponents, but sadly, the other thing does happen for them where they can play down to opponents too, and that's the only issue I really have with them. Sometimes they're, you know, incredibly good, very, very reliable, and, you know, take on tier 1 teams and really push them the limit, but then you see them in some of the biggers, you know, the teams that it's bigger in name value, maybe not in ability, and they just drop down. And we saw that happen a little bit at the major. Teams that I thought they probably would have been top dog against, they weren't. And Sangal might be able to do the same thing here against their LNZ for one, the awful responding kind. There's big names on this Sangal team. There's big value targets, but I don't know how much time Sangal have really had to work with this sort of new lineup. They've been playing so many officials that it actually can be quite difficult to get back in and start to work on the defaults. It feels like the defaults being pulled apart here. Aristosh going to find X-Cloud and now 2 rifles and a USP. This is a tough round.
Yeah, not looking too good at all. But we'll see. As sAw, again, on these sort of slow rotations moving around. Towards B, it would look like, and unfortunately for Sangal, they've kind of guessed the wrong bomb site. They've actually got both those rifles together. And they're on A. And bomb everybody. Yeah, there's no sAw members anywhere near A at the moment. So a simple contact burst forwards here. SaMeyo will lose his head. He'll trade that for the information at the very least. Maybe the guarantee of a save. But nothing really coming off here for Sangal.
Yeah. I'm going to save. I say that actually. Jota's getting pretty close to the fight. So he might be in trouble. Yeah, he does get caught. And they probably would have preferred to have what they kind of, you know, that M4 and the AK is alive just actually for a bit of stability in terms of the finances. That's the only issue that we've seen for Sangal. It's being this kind of run of form where it's full buy-in, no success, low buy-in to repeat. And because of that, it's allowing sAw to build up really decent, you know, T-side rounds, but at the very least, maybe they should be tested a little bit more against truer buys. They're kind of getting a couple of freebies for nothing, really. We'll see. Attack pause can be called in. I don't hate this idea. I feel like Sangal losing just a little bit of control for me. Would like to see them have a conversation. Because they started so well in towards this map, and they are now letting it slip just a tad, and it is getting a little bit concerning. Of course, those who maybe didn't join us for the pre-show, this is Sangal's map pick of Anubis. It's been a map in which they played a hell of a lot. Played 20 times last 3 months. Won 10 of them. Lost 10. Nice, even 50%, but on paper, it looks like quite a punishing pick over towards sAw. They've only played this 5 times and only won 1 of them. That was against 9 Pandas in this event, but really, really early on. And since then, some pretty damning losses. They lost to Sampi, Eternal Fire, and to Zero Tenacity all recently. Before that, of course, even to Cloud9 back in the major. So it does feel quite punishing on paper, but it seems like sAw have at least done some work because they look, at least for my money, considerably cleaner.
Trading of utility here across the board, but there is something a little faster, a little more present from sAw. Going to fall south. Whether they continue following up on the A hit is next big question. It looks like they will indeed keep moving forwards. Perfect flash out for you, Jerks. Breaking into this A bomb site. Looking very, very good indeed. X-Cloud biting off a bit more than he can chew, and it's a panicked attempt at keeping control of the site from Sangal. Despite the first frag, sAw commit, and they make it work perfectly.
Especially, this is now, what, I think the 3rd time that we've seen Sangal find that opening kill and then not be able to convert around. Numbers advantage situations. Still not seeing them over the line. And there's another one put on the board here for sAw. 6 now turns 7, guaranteeing a lead at the turn of the half. Guaranteeing them a real lot to work with. Tough spot. Tough spot indeed. See though, going forward, already a really rough spot that Sangal are putting themselves in, just considering the veto itself, right? Once again, map number 2, we look towards Nuke, and it's a very, very solid map for sAw. It's always been a map they go to. Probably Sangal would expect this, no two ways about it. It's also a map though which has very obviously been sAw's go-to, so there's a lot of tape on it, and Sangal play a lot themselves, but there's a big inherent risk here. If you're going to get kind of destroyed on your own map pick and offer up nothing, this could be you potentially on the brink of a 2-0.
It is entirely possible, my good man. Whoa, Rosdosh, hello. One tap to open up proceedings. I think he knows that Youngster's somewhere around here as well. Absolutely spots him, but I was going to say, should be able to find him. Not the case. Youngster does well there to even find one. 3 versus 3. Very, very quickly. It's a scrappy affair once again. The previous round, very similar kind of energy. Where do we go from here, say sAw? I think they are a little unsure of what's coming at them. You know, Sangal playing this one really aggressively.
It's quiet though. We've got a minute left to work with. This pot flash could do a bit of damage here. And Lindsay just misses his timing. See it off though. A little double at the end. Not bad. And that is going to be a 4 point on the board for Sangal. They're going to give themselves at least a bit of saving grace. 7-4. It's a 3-round deficit they find themselves in. Make it 7-5 though. It's workable. 8-4. And that's where we maybe get a little bit concerned. We'll have to see. Far from over just yet, but still a lot more that we need to see out of this Sangal side before I'm convinced. They can make it though. Towards a 5th, then we'll see. Let's benefit of the doubt. Smoke going to come down as Amy drops a smoke, but he doesn't stick around for the fight here. That door smoke denies him the opportunity. And it will give sAw this control. They can slowly start moving their way forward.
Entirely possible here. SaMeyo. Trained on the smoke, ready and waiting for a fight to come his way. Meanwhile, the B main push, and Roman is immediately getting the hell out of dodge, which I think is completely fair. 3 players on that push. Double peek coming in. SaMeyo not quite fast enough. Nearly tracked down by the sAw play. Lindsay chilling on the edge of proceedings here. xFloud trying to get involved, but not going well for him at all. Orb still looking good, however, difficult to pin down and finish off. It's a quick 1-for-1. You jerks with a creep forwards onto the Orb. The Orb gets proactive, but loses his head for his creativity. Linus is the next player to call upon. Gets close to the action here. Good for the 1, but that is all. It's the untraded You Jerks 2-piece that unfortunately is a little difficult to deal with. Jota remaining alone then has to try and clutch into things, and it's not really looking too good for him. Slow encroachment in, making a lot of noise. Nade, smoke goes down, and it's all too easy. Mutiris will take it. 8-4 at the turn of the half. I would say pretty good for sAw. A map that we have highlighted they are not comfortable on at all. So 8 rounds from the T side, pretty good, pretty expected from Anubis potentially.
Yeah.
Time's going to tell us here how things go. We're going to take a break though, folks, and we'll be back very shortly.
Alrighty. Hello, welcome into the second half. 8-4 is not too bad for sAw. It has to be said. Sangal, it actually started okay. This team didn't look like off the rip they were doing all too bad, but they did slow things down. And that's the worrying thing. They won 3 out of the first 4 rounds, and there was a really good run all the way to that tail end out from the sAw side. And the questions are, can they continue it? Pistol round here. If sAw find it on the CT side, I start to believe that this map is done and dusted. At least now, though. Slow encroaching up mid. Sangal can be given all this control here. And Materis is quite isolated towards A. They come towards the site. He's going to be in a little bit of a tough spot where he actually maybe can't even afford to fight. Doesn't show any presence. Waiting. Finding. X out of 4. So will Jota. He's giving us a really good chance. They gamble stack 5B. And it might just work.
Yeah, it's possible here. It is very possible for them. SaMeyo. Oh, will lose his head. Youngster trying to be the hero, but it's Materis. Can't stop fragging. Just absolutely ruins them there on the A bomb site. Really looking good. He's going to get himself the ace as well. And he's going to defuse the bomb. So I think they should just rename the team to Materis and maybe leave him to it. That's absolutely ridiculous stuff, to be honest. 9 rounds coming in. Pistol, importantly, as you mentioned. Really, really big deal for sAw. As they will look to stretch ahead. Now, the one thing for Sangal, the saving grace, as we like to say, is the fact that they planted that bomb. So there's maybe potential to make this follow-up round work, but
yeah,
Story has been given an AWP. Okay.
Do you know what? I don't hate it. I think because they'll understand that Sangal are going to force buy, try and get Story active with the AWP. Has been did alright in towards that first half, maybe a little bit quiet at times, but I'm going to see if they can get him back into the fray here. Although it comes down, Aristarchus doesn't hear anything behind it.
Oh,
I like this.
Pretty sneaky stuff. I'm a big fan. They've got to know, surely there's somebody around, right? Oh my, maybe not. Oh my goodness. Materis here with the FAMAS as well to just help clean up house. A dangerous burst from Sangal. You know, certainly plenty of time in the round to just wait for that smoke to go down. But they wanted to, I suppose, be the ones that were proactive. Linus ready, waiting. Deagle comes through. Not able to find anything. Roman will hit the double digits for sAw then, and a pretty big round to fend off.
Yeah, and now I think as well, it feels like slowly but surely kind of the beginning of the end here. I think for Sangal, no buy towards this round means that sAw should get 11, and we're talking 1 gun round to make the difference for Sangal. Unfortunately, they've not showed up. They're map picking. It has been a tough old spot that they put themselves in. Never got going on Anubis. They've got the daunting feat of trying to take on sAw and Nuke after this, and a worrying spot. This ways about it. If you don't get a pistol, Sangal. But a bit of a hope and a prayer here. Even armor, a luxury that they can't really afford. So, feeling a bit, I'm going to say, of a rough spot. But Youngster will get 1. And M4, may I say, picked up and maybe a chance. He's given the space towards the site too, so potentially might even be able to get in the back lines.
Ooh, bomb sneaking in there. Maybe an oversight from sAw. Maybe something that they are not too bothered about. They just want to get the rounds in. Story with a keen find. Linus does take the head of view jerks, and as he said, there is this flank coming in. Linus not able to do much else, so it's just going to be Youngster with a recovered M4. He's being watched for as well. Story on it this evening, it would appear. He's looked pretty good with this open hand already, and now we move up to 11. So sAw, for me, I think have probably done enough here. It looks like this map will be going their way. They'll get a little bit of a steal, and well, we'll see. Moving forwards, can Sangal even just match up to them?
Is the big question, isn't it? 1 gun round of what Sangal have got to stay alive in this one is very much make or break. Lose this, that done. Sangal look at least mentioned out. Never been able to make a conversation out of this. So I don't know. I feel like this is probably on its last legs. Of course, for sAw, they still have that AWP saved over on round number 2 off the back of the ace, and doesn't give SaMeyo any sort of advantage here. Somebody who's really struggled to get going. So I'm going to come through, going to pop through this. Aristosh will be caught and he'll just dip away, but actually no. Opts a stick in front of the smoke.
Get a little weird out here then. Yeah, looking for the scrappage, I suppose. They've got all these rounds in hand, so why not? Quieting down quite a bit from Sangal. They showed some early presence, but not really picking up steam as the round's gone on.
All quiet though, isn't it? Should have a minute. I'm still towards A, but for now, CT smoke is keeping them at bay. They want to split through mid. They might actually get given that chance here. Serious, I think they're aware of it. Oh, I feel like a good
Possible. Nah, not going to happen for him. Unfortunately, Mutirius nearly lines up a couple. But Sangal may well be buying themselves some time here, and it looks like it. Not much to go over as they get those 2 kills. Force the save out for the B players.
get a killer piece. Maybe there's a round there, but they don't. That'll be that nice and quickly. And game's still alive here for Sangal, at least momentarily. I mean, still a lot more that needs to be done before even remotely gets to a point of being comfortable about this side. But at least for now, we'll have to see. Keeping the orb, I think, is the big thing for me, though. Keep that in play. You don't have to reinvest in. Story's got 6k, so the drops needed for Aristosh is doable. It's fine. They rebuy in. Don't feel too much pressure, generally speaking, and they can try and deliver again going forward. Sangal needs a really strong and consistent response out of them, and I just don't really think, from what I've seen so far, they've got that in them. They've looked really rough on their own map pick. Not been delivering, not been finding what has made this map previously so good for them. And I think a lot of credit has been given. A little bit too much on oversight. Obviously, sAw them very good in terms of the research, it seems. Read them quite well when they were on that T side. Pushing towards mid, Nate will come down with Tyrus will dip away. Nate doesn't do anything. And he's kind of reluctantly forced to give up mid-control. Contact play, and Youngster finds ahead.
Oh, Story though with the trade back. Could be a little interesting here. Mutirius with an aggressive move through that smoke, but he's creating a lot of space for his teammates. And is caught between angles. Molotov'd off. He opts to go forwards and finds initial success, but it's short-lived, unfortunately, for him. Youngster, meanwhile, and Jota are actually finding so much space on B. The issue is they've lost the bomb, and sAw really playing an acute game here. As soon as they're like, okay, presence has slowed down, maybe they're in on a flank. Roman had the right idea, but takes one in the noggin. So down to the 2 versus 2. They've conceded control of the bomb here, so they will look to win it out in the latter stages of the round. But with only 40 seconds left, you know, Sangal have got to start making a move, start making some noise in particular, and they have to get past this, or they no longer have a smoke to do that. He's a bit too slow to the trigger. They're weirdly split up. Mutirius, meanwhile, holding down below, opting to hide here, and this could be a big deal. Oh, Jota! Massive kill from him. Carves a path towards this B bomb site and a 1 versus 2 as well that Story might not even want anything to do with, to be honest.
There's a kit in front of him, but the fact that he's not up for it. Oh. Dropping the orb, so maybe he might even be giving this a look in, or just picking up that other one and make sure that it's something that Sangal don't have. But they're going to have money to buy it if they want. Jota can actually drop one over off the back of this round. So Sangal are at least periodically staying alive. Bit by bit, moment by moment, making something out of this. Or might go on the tail end. Story falls off the angle at the worst possible time. See Sangal finding 6, so they're not done just yet. 5 rounds of deficit, but for sAw, no issues for the most part in terms of the reinvestment here. Story can drop one over. Roman can buy and drop one if needed. So they can squeeze out a full buy here. No real issues for the most part. They're going to have a little attack pause, though. See what they can do. They just want to get up on it, closing this out. They're going to have to do it with 2 gun rounds as well. Not the easiest. So at least they've given it a little bit of a path for Sangal to get back into this game. Pause called. Of course, SaMeyo, at least for the time being, coachless, but in London, they will be joined by Berry, the scout coach, so it's interesting to see what he can do maybe in the server. Not sure if he's joining them for the online games. I'm going to assume no. Article seems to suggest it was purely for the Blast London only. Yeah, it's Amac called. All in the head. They're not big just yet.
Oh, big nade. Lovely big nade onto the Sangal Vanguard. Flash over the top of Rozdosh. Trying to go for a reposition. Linus is taking him on the edge of the smoke, though, and now the burst forwards looks pretty dangerous, to be honest. Nothing that Muteris can do to stop this bomb from going down, but denying a little bit of a channel. Wow, are they going to save with 4 alive? That's kind of wild. It looks like it, though. Yeah, Sangal taking another round. sAw not in any rush, and I think they maybe know where their shortcomings are at on this map. You know, that maybe the retakes have been a bit rough. And I suppose ultimately that their CT side as a whole is not fantastic. So I definitely respect it that they're like, okay, let's not take any chances. Let's not be like, yeah, we've got 5 or 6 rounds in the lead. We can just throw ourselves at it. They're being very, very respectful here of the fact that they could drop this lead.
Terrorists win.
Either way.
Oh, too many opportunities for me, right? Being given over. I'm worried. I'm looking through statistics as well. And
Yeah.
it does seem that Sangal actually do heat up a lot on their C side. This map for them is, at least recently, been so spotty in terms of the performances. Lost win, lost win, lost win is the recent result. So really shows how inconsistent it is. And actually, when you look at the variety of teams as well, they're all over the place. They got battered by Endpoint 13-3 and then Respond by being Paravision 13-3. The game after, I mean, it's all over the place for Sangal. We're kind of seeing that a little bit here. I'm just going to find one. Jot's going to be dropped over the hands of Story. Udrex is phase 5-1, but that's the site taken. And now I think if you're Aristosh, 1v2, you've got to give this a go, surely.
Yeah, feels like it. Bomb going down as well. Trying to isolate away. They actually get off the bomb to take the fight. They make it work. And Rozdosh was close to the action. Felt like he had a decent chance for the fight, but unfortunately not the case. So we shall see here. Timeout coming in from sAw. They've used all of them in the game thus far. I think, you know, credit to them for that. There's a lot of teams at this kind of level that, you know, they might use one. Definitely gone are the days where nobody used timeouts, but not a lot of teams actually max them out. Especially in a game where they're winning relatively comfortable.
It's one of those now where, for me, for sAw, this has been something that we've seen a few times out of the side. They just lack that last little push. I mean, the lead that they had, this CT side has fallen apart. And they're forced buying in to a degree. 1.4k for Materials, 1k for Irish Dosh, and 1.5 for Story left in the back pocket. It's going to mean the buy is, I mean, at least a little bit A little bit spotty. Attack ball seems like it's changed to technical, though, unfortunately. I hate to say it. 5 MP9s. I say that. Roman sold and reinvested. There we go. So, yeah, 5 MP9s coming through here for the SaMeyo side. At least with Roman having 2.6k plus loss bonus, they should actually have an open towards the next round if they want it. I'll take a look and see, though. 11 to 8. 3 rounds of difference, and Sangal, very good little run of form here. It's a good amount of rounds in a row. 4 now on the trot for the Sangal side. Down 11 to 4, and at least that conversation is starting to change and shift quite dramatically. A lot of it for me comes off the back of LNZ as well. He looks very solid.
Back and forth spam. You jerks playing a dangerous game there. Nobody really takes the fall. Nobody takes massive damage. Looking pretty good on the Sangal side. Definitely got the momentum in their favor. And yeah, all the nades in the world. So I think we're really hoping for a fast one, or at the very least a couple of players to try and work their way into a bomb site. Sangal not biting. They're a little apprehensive after the timeout.
A little quiet. Roman just dancing into both the angles. He's isolated here. He's going to have to try and get at least one for his troubles. And Z gets his as well. Swinging towards the site. And SaMeyo, I don't know, man. They are being pulled apart bit by bit, round by round. Nothing is looking good for this side. The CT side, honestly, at the moment, they're calling this woefully. Sites are so barren. The gamble stacking so often. The gamble seems to be always wrong as well. This is a tough spot that SaMeyo put themselves in, because they have given Sangal a really decent opportunity at actually stealing away this map, or at least pushing it towards the chance of an overtime. Jota rips Udrik's head off. The remaining 2 probably going to hope to keep hold of their MP9s. They should be able to buy around it, maybe bar Irish Dosh, but this is an awful spot they find themselves in. And yeah, I don't know, SaMeyo, this CT side has been pretty rough to watch these last few rounds. If it wasn't for the pistol, they would be losing right now. May have even lost the map itself. Swing and a find for SaMeyo. Doesn't get the last, but Story, quick trades, the only consolation kill that we get out from Sangal. 11 to 9, a very good run back here. And another questionable showing from SaMeyo. No more attack pauses either, so they've got to just let this, sadly, I guess you kind of fester, right? They haven't got really any sort of choice about changing things out. Sangal cooking. Do you have the open play for Story? This is really tough to watch for SaMeyo, because, I don't know, this CT side is really showing so many weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely not ideal here, sir. Definitely not ideal. As I said, with, you know, the very quick saves that they were going for and whatnot, I think that they are very aware of the fact that they struggle on this CT side. It's getting dangerous, isn't it? Really important round here that they have to make work. Mutiris, we playing with the idea of going for it. Spams away, not able to find anything just yet.
All goes quiet. Minute to work with. Aristosh playing up close, playing anti for the most part. As he jiggles on that corner, waiting for a flash or any sort of util to work with. Flash come around. Roman going to tuck himself in towards back plat. As that molly fades. Sangal aren't committing those. The bomb looks like it wants to rotate back over towards A main. Aristosh, got to try and get at least a kill here. Swing is so ambitious. I don't know why that's needed, because the Molotov wasn't even touching him. And that Story's in trouble. Then I'm walking, tunnel visioned in, and another showing. So, this CT side, it's pretty woeful. No two ways about it. Roman going to trade, but I don't think he's going to give a 1v4 to a 1v3 a go.
No, you would assume not. He's not really going to get a choice at it, though, is he? Linus gets the drop on him. Big round coming in for Sangal as they bring it into double digits of their own. Close this gap exponentially. And, yeah, SaMeyo going to be a little worried, I think. They have to go for the buy here, but if they do and they lose it, you know, the game really comes into jeopardy. It's a tough.
Probably going to trade, but I don't think he's going to give a 1v4 to a 1v3 a go.
No, you would assume not. He's not really going to get a choice at it, though, is he? Linus gets the drop on him. Big round coming in for Sangal as they bring it into double digits of their own. Close this gap exponentially. And, yeah, sAw going to be a little worried, I think. They have to go for the buy here, but if they do and they lose it, you know, the game really comes into jeopardy. It's a tough call, actually.
Not easy. Yeah, I mean, there's no twos about it. sAw looking awful on the CT side. Just the way in which they're calling around this has been pretty dreadful. Their setups are very janky as well. This is a map that they play a decent amount as well. They don't always look this rough, but being pulled apart. Sangal, at the moment, for me, deserve this map. While their first half was a little bit slow, no two ways about it. What sAw have been showing in the CT side is considerably worse. At least kind of Sangal were competitive. They were just losing out on the 2vx's and the 1vx situations. This, for now, is... it's pretty dire. Irish Dosh trying to get active here. There's Materius in support. Irish Dosh might not have been heard here. So Youngster needs to be careful.
They're looking for him. Youngster knows, yeah. Absolutely known. Solid spot for Sangal straight out of the gate. Again, with sAw not really looking to take too many chances. They put themselves in a pretty shaky position. A lot of pressure on the next round. I guess there would have been a lot of pressure on this round if they went for it. It depends. I think they are playing kind of fearful, though. The decision-making, the saves, the low buys rather than the force buys. Certainly not the most confident on this map. What is that from xCloud, man? Goodness gracious. Story the only one left on the P2. Fiddy. I'm expecting too much out from the big man.
Will be audacious, to say the least. You get a kill. Gun. Maybe there's a chance. But Sangal got to tie this game up 11-all. And again, now a really good chance that are kind of spiraling through here. I mean, this is 11-4. 11-all. Story looking around. He's evaded everybody. No chance for him to fight and pick up a gun. Maybe he'll take a hand here. Dead man walking, and that basically sums up the CT side. Out from sAw. Missed shots and round closed flawlessly. Tough work. Tough old work. Sangal, just 2 more rounds they need here. sAw desperately be looking for this map point. Right now it is looking anything but theirs. Credit to Sangal. Buy going to come through for sAw, and this is must win. Lose this buy here, and they probably lose the map too. From 11-4 up, that is a damning, damning result, if that is to be.
Ooh, big nade to kick things off from U-Jerks. Might be the difference maker in this round. They're going to go creeping through the dark smokes. U-Jerks is ready and waiting, watching for this fight. It's going to come his way, and it absolutely will. They are moving in slow but sure. Contact flash for him is ineffective, unfortunately. But there's still 2 more players to get through. On the site itself, tag lands from Story. Not quite able to convert. And Roman is splitting the difference as well. Not looking good. They're going to overwhelm him. Is there a chance here? Mutiris going absolutely wild, but not going to happen for him. It's a Rozdosh. He's instantly traded, and the B bomb site goes crazy. We're maybe on the cards for an overtime, but I mean, it's looking pretty likely that Sangal steal this one.
This is such a rough thing to watch, right? I mentioned it once before, and I mentioned it again. 11-4, sAw were up. Now find themselves 12-11 down. They got a force buy to work with in this final round as a kind of potential loss to Raw, but that's not going to be easy, I don't think. Triple FAMAS, an MP9, and 1 M4. Sangal, just 1 more round is all they need. What a showing from them. Maybe a play out through B here. Flash going to come over. Jota will be flashing to the angle. Flash in his own, but he does not have to peek here, so he avoids the bulk, actually, of that nade damage.
Tension in this round, where the last one we were sort of spamming away, looking for early fights. It feels like nobody wants to give themselves away here. Rozdosh does move forwards here. Some aggressive posturing with the nades. Nade is pretty much perfect, though. Absolutely melts him. That's big, big damage to kick off the Sangal move.
All quiet. 45 seconds. Playing behind the smoke here. Sangal. Team for a chance. Pop flash in the corner. We have a Molotov. Lindsay opting not to go through the flames, though. Probably the smart decision. Looks to fight. It's just to find the first. They're going aggro. And Lindsay gets one. Can't get a second, but still the numbers look good here for Sangal.
Yeah, definitely is workable, it feels like. Or Jota, particularly with that kill. I think might just have done it. A Rozdosh caught completely off, and Roman dealt with instantly. Sangal with the steal. No wonder sAw were playing nervy. No wonder sAw were pulling back from a lot of those retake situations. Their CT side left a lot to be desired there on Anubis. Difficult run on this map as well continues for them. Kind of wild, you know. First half did not look bad. I'm make sure everybody's all good. But it would appear that we are now all good into the CS. Sangal looking to pick up where they left off on that first map. Try and translate some of the energy here. They start off on the CT side. Stronger end on Nuke, and it is, again, psychologically for a lot of players, it feels pretty important to them. So we'll see what they're able to cook up. Yeah,
we'll have to see. At least the mental state for Sangal, you'd hope, would be pretty good off the back of that resurgence, right? 11 to 4 down, and they win it out 13-11. Still. Contact play down secret. They're actually going to be given a lot of room here towards this lower site. Sangal are playing the site itself, but you kind of hope that he can get probably at least 2 here, because he's kind of all alone.
Yeah, we'll hope so, and indeed, he's going to do just that. The spin around from xFloud is out of this world. Oh my goodness gracious, Rozdosh does not know what day of the week it is as Youngster cleans him up. What a hold from xFloud.
That's kind of ridiculous. That is, I mean, the third is insane. 1 and 2, fair enough. They're in front of him, they're lining up, but that third is just kind of bonkers. And again, right, it's all sort of a part of a set strategy. Feels like they've read that. Feels like they know that's a possibility. First one on the ball for Sangal. No bomb plan for sAw. No buy for them either. Sangal should get a 2-0 start here. Pretty comfy.
Looking good indeed. Yeah, they're joining the party outside, aren't they, to make some money. And they're going to do just that, especially Youngster there, getting himself a double kill, that MP9. Pretty much paying for itself. Lovely stuff, as seems to be the phrase of the day for me. But all the same, Sangal starting off well. This is where things get a bit more difficult, though. What have sAw, got in that back pocket? Stereotypically, a really great map for this team over the past couple of years, over the past couple of iterations of this squad. I'd say it's still their best map here as well. Maybe not as super clean as it once was, though.
Yeah, not bad. Not too bad at all. And see with that MP9, just get tagged in the cross towards Fen, and he's going to play up behind this smoke. And only a little bit risky here. Potfash comes over, xFloud spots nothing. I don't know if he'll realize there's one tucked towards back side. Reaggress, refind. Tears can be the first to fall. xFloud given the possibility of falling away here, which is pretty huge.
Yeah, kind of sticking around for information at the very least. You got SaMeyo on door as well. Pretty nasty spot. Oh, Story has managed to creep in, and maybe is throwing a spanner in the works. It's Linus up top, actually, that finds a double kill. Didn't quite catch all of that, because it was a bit mental. xCloud moving round, denies the bomb plant, wins the round. Absolutely insane sort of vibe there on the A-bomb site, but it is Sangal to come out on top of things on a bonus at that, so looking really good here.
Yeah, so far, so good, right? MP9 getting very active there. It's exactly what you want to see from LNZ. Shot through is tagged as well. 3-0 start, and again another lack of bomb plant for sAw. Means that this round is probably a non-starter. Sangal 3-0 could be made 4 in just a moment. And for them, really decent little spot they put themselves in. Bit of a spam in the corner. Gonna come over too is a little bit of tick damage over towards LNZ. They're pop flashing out a ramp here. They actually are going to try and get down, but it isn't without the casualties. Story and Materis bring it back to a 3 versus 3. They're trying to get gunned. Another trade going to come through. Sort of giving this an opportunity.
I mean, surely this is not the way that they get their first round. Surely not. But this is how it can go from time to time. Linus trying to get the catch. Ooh, dangerous. Is he going to expect a Rosdosh in CT? Surely not. It's all a question of how disciplined is he going to be, and the answer is not enough, and he's actually getting tracked down maybe for a knife kill here. Rosdosh not going to get that cheeky. Meanwhile, xCloud down below reveals himself, so it's a bit all over the place. But really nicely played from the sAw players to just sort of pause and see what the CTs do, see how they react. Like I say, that angle you don't expect, but it's all a case of if you have in your head, it's like, okay, they could be anywhere. Let me search each and every crevice, which really does take an awful lot. xCloud might be able to get the drop on the crosshair, but not going to happen. A Rosdosh with some really nice angles in this round.
Yeah, I like that. We all find their first over-facing, and Sangal give an opportunity there. It never really should happen. Thankfully, won't have too big of a knock-on effect over towards the econ. They have enough money to buy back in, but it's a bad one to lose. Really bad one to lose. That kill there towards LNZ, I can kind of give it a little bit of respect and say, fair enough. Not expecting anything, but the others were pretty egregious. Good trading. sAw making their Sec 9s work well. Right back in. sAw can make it 2 for 2 here. They're going to get themselves a really decent spot. SaMeyo was outside at all. Spots one missed shot. Reposition.
SaMeyo looking on the edge of the smoke here as the utility comes over the top to just sort of keep him at bay, but he's still sticking around for an aggressive fight. Flashes come in. Yeah, and he just gets split there. Very panicked as you see his crosshair. Doesn't really know where to look. Have to give him credit for the confidence, I suppose. Speaking of, xCloud goes for some confident plays of his own. It's all on Linus, however, to maybe capitalize on the fact that they'd surely never expect 2 players from the same location. sAw, again, though, have put the brakes on here, waiting for fights to come their way. Jota gives them one, and he wins it.
It's a good kill to find as well, because he goes completely untraded. Story, I don't know if he expects one down here. He doesn't. LNZ pounces the MP9. Now with Materis tagged, this round does flip in terms of his possibilities. It feels better. Towards Sangal. Ujerks, all the onus on him, and he's yet to get a kill. It's tough. Bit of a move being made here, trying to catch a timing. Feels like they're slowly at least expecting this. Back turn, though. Ujerks will get one. This is going to out towards single door. Jota holding for it. Jota, where's he looking? He's heard him run all the way to him. I have no idea what Jota's doing. But they're jumping down towards B, so actually going into the trap, it seems. They need to get this bomb. They're looking for LNZ. Timing. Lost it. So lucky, but I have no idea where Jota's looking there.
It's a bit mental, isn't it? It's a bit mental. Really quite lucky on the Sangal side, though, that I guess, yeah, they are just drawn away. sAw unable to recover that bomb in good time. And kind of a bit funky. You look on the minimap, actually, it dropped very, very early, it would seem. So, yeah, I think just a massive oversight from sAw, actually, to not go back and recover that bomb before going in for the hit. Really strange. And Sangal take a timeout, probably to be like, what the hell has just happened? You know, how did we just win that round? Crazy stuff.
Pretty lucky that they do, in all fairness. Very nearly went South Valentine's had to stay alive at the end, and he does. So it's okay. 4-1. And off the back of that pause, again, another buy to come back in both ways, but double MP9 for Sangal, not exactly the best. It's not the fully fledged buy, and the same thing has to be said up to a sAw, with Roman just bringing in a Tech 9 Irish Dosh with that Galil. 4-1. sAw staying alive by lost bonus alone, really. Need to desperately get one of these gun rounds.
What is going on with these smokes here, man? Goodness me. Yeah, sAw with a really early splurge of the smokes, I suppose. U-Jerks does catch out sAMeyo, who is really struggling outside at the moment. I think that's something that sAw might look to abuse in the follow-up rounds here. X-Flab, meanwhile, boosted up, has been spotted. Oh, very awkward indeed. He didn't have any support. Obviously, someone will have boosted him up there earlier on. Usually you see them kind of playing off against each other. I would imagine it was Jota. He's down below here. Just looking to get a bit of a catch. One of the windows already gone. Oh, God, that is such an awkward fight for him. Definitely should have had that. Doesn't happen. Sangal down and out in this round.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to watch this. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Sangal. And it just comes down to the raw fundamentals. It just comes down to just not hitting their shots. Yikes. It is a tough one to watch when it's not even that they've been outplayed in terms of the game plan or anything of the sort. They have quite literally just lost all of their raw jewels. The 50-50's gone south, and sAw will convert a flawless round. Save going to come through, but it's just the two M4s, and they might actually struggle to buy around this. I feel like it might be all they bring to this next round here. Might be a tough one. sAw giving a lifeline, an opportunity to try and resurge in this. 2 on the board. Probably get a third as well here, where maybe not so much about. They might actually be tempted by a force, in fact. Yeah. I was looking at it now, and double ego territory for X-Cloud and sAMeyo. So they don't really get a choice. Sadly, Lost Man has not built up enough for them to give them that chance. So yeah, they kind of have to go into this probably against what they would have wanted. Double MP9. Deagle is what they bring to the table around it. That's tough.
Yeah, not the best look. Very, very quickly it's dried up for them, unfortunately. But I think one of the things that maybe is working in their favor is the fact that their econ is a bit hard to track here, so I don't think sAw are fully ready for what's on the other end. Maybe not the best buy, but they might expect it to be full rifles. You know, this is very much a case of, you know, X-Cloud not keeping track of his personal economy super well. Things like that. So they take their time. They allow the initial smokes to just sort of dissipate, see if Sangal are doing anything funky here.
All slow. Off flash on that corner as well. sAMeyo trying to get active. Does a lot of damage towards 2, but no kill. Does make Irish Dosh, and now Roman and Materis all vulnerable. Nothing young to combine. Deagle's struggling, and really does struggle there. In fact, as Materis gets that kill and gets the numbers towards sAw, they try to dive. Oh no, that's the bomb. Yikes. That is the bomb gone down, and Jota will see it off. Oh my god, one big mistake there, and it gifts the round towards Sangal. They bite back, and sAw, that's another rough one to lose.
Eesh. Not good at all. Not good at all. sAw definitely running into a few issues here on the T side, and maybe a few more issues than usual. They take another timeout. Getting quite serious now. 5-2. But we'll see. We'll see. They've got to try and keep things together here. Might be the run back. required on that CT end, but they're going to have to give themselves a decent springboard to work with.
We'll see. Ball's called, right? And so, have a little conversation, trying to get back into this. I think this entire series thus far, though, has been a really tough watch out for this SaW side. You know, that kind of pretty woeful run of things from 11-4 up to lose 13-11, and kind of hasn't redeemed itself. It still looks so shaky. Team Jules are tough for the most part by that one round. The game plan is the big thing letting them down, and Sangal kind of having a whale of a time so far. Youngster playing on towards bracket. It's a buyout for sAw. They're going to try and go quick here. Missed shot with the AWP. SaMeyo, they try and reposition him to get a little bit more active over towards ramp, and not even able to get one.
Oh, yeah, looking really solid, those 2 kills. Linus and xCloud. They well have just done enough. Seems to be a tap there from Story on the bomb to try and fake them out a little bit. He's also trying to create space for his teammate, but nothing coming up. Ujerks goes down. Bomb is faked once again, but Story still cannot find the kill. Big deal from Linus to win out that fight. Really great look here for Sangal as they move up to 6-9. A bomb plant in that round as well.
Yeah, not bad. 6-2, like you said, and that's the guarantee of the bare minimum of a tie at the turn of the half, which on CT side is actually kind of a bare minimum. But the way Sangal are playing, they've really got the possibility make it a lead and extend it to essentially even further. They could have an 8-4 of their own. Who knows? 6-2. No buy here for sAw, but this is a round in which they've converted before, so might potentially be a chance. So it goes down. xCloud is now the one taking the onus of outside control here. Like we said for SaMeyo, he has been struggling a lot, so they're trying to get him into a few different more positions, get him a little active, which isn't the easiest thing when you're struggling. xCloud at the very least is being tested here towards our side. And he will in just a second too.
SaMeyo on this AWP here, missing a few shots as they ring off. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, I think that is completely fair enough. He deserved to kind of be punished for that one. Rozdosh, though, is running rampant at the moment. Youngster as well with this aggressive angle. They will give some more fights, but Rozdosh is just kind of taking each and every one as they come. 4 versus 2 very quickly. Bomb going down. Pressure on the Sangal players. They have to try and work a way around here. Rozdosh will go down. AWP picked up and a save. Oh my goodness gracious. What a steal of a round coming in from sAw.
It's another low buy round, isn't it? That's the big thing. Another one of those rounds where they're coming in with just pistols, and it's actually all off the back of one man's brilliant Irish Dosh. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Tough one to let slip as well, because it does give sAw rounds that are nothing, rounds that shouldn't be going their way, but I think for sAw, it is a bit of a sigh of relief. They'll take it, but I don't think they're happy that these are the rounds that they're getting. Much rather be competitive on the gun rounds to at least be able to chip away at this deficit quite consistently. The thing is, they still can't. At least for now. Either way, a reinvestment for Sangal, I guess, is all that matters. SaMeyo has looked very uncomfortable in this map, though. Not hitting shots, really mechanically off the ball. To a degree, he's kind of getting exposed a tad. Using it against him. See, I think continue in that fashion. Once again, smokes towards outside. Youngster gonna tick in the flames a bit as he has to reposition himself.
Oh, it's gonna be a nasty spot here, isn't it? Might need him as well as things look good for sAw. Youngster, though, getting very cheeky in through the smoke, maybe a bit too much. Could have pulled back. Solid 2v2, but as it is, he goes in trying to be the hero, leaving xCloud with it all to do. Who doesn't know where to look. He will unfortunately get caught by Roman. sAw closing this gap.
My God, a half be made out of something here. Really looked like at one point it was going to be an absolute massacre. sAw have come alive now. This next one should be theirs too, so maybe the best we see out of Sangal is 6, in all fairness. Not a good showing, these last couple. Losing towards the Ecos will have that knock-on effect, and we are seeing it here. So 6-4. Should make 6-5 in just a second. It's a full USPS buy out for sAw. I mean, for Sangal. And at least when sAw have these lower buy rounds, at least an upgrade. Something we don't have here. Terrace. Just be careful. Could be caught. Little tunnel vision there. Inked. Dropped. That's an AK. Which X-File will take all day.
Yeah, absolutely. And may well get a decent chance at saving it. You know, I don't know that they necessarily want to leave this A-bomb site in the near future. So, plant comes in. Should be stealable here. As sAw will just kind of go through the motions in the final few moments. Final 30 seconds or so of the round. Almost caught off guard. A better weapon there for Youngster would have indeed meant the end of U-Jerks, but not the case in this round, just a USP.
So, Linus on the end. Anything for him would be nice, but I don't think it's going to be too... Okay, I'm going to say there's going to be a possibility. He does get himself one on a dink. Story might be going down to the bomb here. He will, so I guess you can take the quote-unquote 2 kills out of that. The slight positive, but it is going to be still 6-5, and sAw actually would have a redeemable T side. Normally, I would say 5 rounds is enough. And it's not about how you get to that number, just the fact that you get there is all that really matters. All that we'll look at it in kind of a overarching view. Let's have a look. 6-5, final round. sAw can tie this up. They've actually given themselves a very decent foundation. What looked like a very tough spot at one point.
It is true. X-Floud. Oh, great angle here. Oh, I was going to say, difficult to clear, but he loses that fight. Terrace knows what's up, and that leaves B completely exposed. Might even be Sangal, you know, in a way conceding it. Obviously, they're going to have to go for it here. With it being the final round, but they are just kind of fingers crossed they're not actually going B, are they? But that looks to be the case. So a lobby crunch coming in here. Pretty hefty one, in fact. Roman up top. A lot of different angles for him to watch. They're pulling away, though. Oh, my God, this is so weird. He's going to get Youngster so easily. Trade will be there, but that's 2 players confirmed. Maybe even 3. Jota down below. Doesn't know what's up. Gets completely bested. He brings it back into a 2 versus 3, but needed to go a bit deeper than that. It's all going to be on to Linus. No kit. Position known. Surely no hope for this young gun. Going to try and give it his best go, as of course he has to, but just spamming him away should be all she wrote. 6-6. Great recovery coming in from sAw. Run of 4 at the end of that first half. Started so well for Sangal, but they did run out of steam, and I think this is something that I worry about again on this map for them. I don't know that they have the deepest knowledge, but time indeed will tell. We're going to take a break here, folks. When we're back, second half, is it going to be the last one required, or will there be a third and final map? What up? Welcome back. Second half here of Nuke getting underway. Big questions around this one. Sangal, great start for them on the CT side. Couldn't keep it up. sAw, as you can see, have evened up the proceedings, and now they get the quote-unquote stronger side. So, I don't know. I'm worried a bit for Sangal, particularly if they cannot get this half off the ground. I think they will really, really struggle here on the T side, as, you know, they're going to be out of fresh ideas. Straight in towards ramp, though, it would seem. Try and make that work. U-Jerks does some damage, drops back, looking for some heads. He's got some support now as well. The Glocks to try and find these early frags. 1 for 1 thus far. Big smoke going down. Gonna try and get cheeky around it. Oh, Linus got to be careful. Left incredibly low. One plant, not a surefire deal with him being on that kind of HP. They have brought the man advantage in their favor. It was actually a fake out to try and draw some attention. They get exactly what they wanted, but the bomb in the meanwhile has been dropped. 2 versus 2. Julie's for xFloud retrieved. This is absolutely all over the place at the moment. It is, as I say, that bomb in the sight lines of the CT side that really makes the difference. How do they retrieve it? They've got to try and find the kills, which is easier said than done. Muterius brave to keep taking those peaks. However, xFloud goes in for good timing here. They're on top of each other. Julius makes mincemeat of the first. Can he get the second? Yes, he can. And xFloud clutches up 2v1.
He's happy about that one as well. You can see really good stuff. Sangal off to the back of it. Maybe a little bit of a tepid ending towards, I guess, that first. Then now we're going to give themselves a bit of confidence once again. Good work. 7 put on the board, and will at least mean a buy to come through for them. Sangal can potentially start things off once again. What a rough ending. Gave too many opportunities towards sAw, losing against Ecos twice on that CT side. It really cost them some valuable rounds. And 6-all ending was actually not bad by most standards on T side for sAw. Sangal quickly crossing towards our side.
Uh-oh. Muterius on that scout, looking pretty hot. Sangal got to be careful. It's pretty telegraphed down here as well. The MP9 jump spotting at least one. They will just immediately pick up the pace. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. It does not look nice. It does not look nice at all. Scout getting involved as well now. Roman still alive. He will get taken down as the MAC-10 drives in, but it is left to do it all. Gap close. Maybe a little more aggressive than they were expecting. Not a lot of ammunition. SaMeyo trying to play it as best he possibly can here. If he gets this one, then maybe we're on, but it's not looking too likely. Finds the quick headshots and is sort of faking things out. Story, though, not going to jump, not getting too giddy. SaMeyo's overthunk things a little bit. I don't know whether he's going to cleanly check this angle. Glass has yet to be broken, but it does not matter. Story peeks up, takes him down, and sAw win the force buy.
Yeah, that's a tough one to lose. Overfacing Sangal just a little bit too overzealous in some of these fights, and so costly. So costly indeed. And that's now going to gift the really nice opportunity for sAw to spiral on this CT side. To get a small little buyout here from Sangal roster of an AK-47 and a few Tech 9s, but yikes, it's not a good spot to be in. At the very least for Sangal, the expectation they lose this one, lose it. Probably get 2 for 1, which is already going to give them so much leverage on this CT side. Oh, he just 1 for 1 though.
Yeah, we'll see. Could be a little weird here. Down below, quite fast. Or support coming round. It's Muterius in particular looking to defend things. He'll get taken down pretty easily, so still nobody is holding super well here. Oh, the Tech 9, it's a struggle, but it is a kill for xFloud. Roman trying to get
situations they put themselves in, and yeah, who knows. Over the other games as well, Aurora have taken it to map number 3 on their match, and Koi versus 3D Max currently 9-all tied on that second map because Koi took map number 1, so they have the opportunity at a 2-0. They're getting relatively close to it as well, but shall have to see. 8-7 though. Sangal advantage towards them. Buy out from sAw. They get no choice. They have to go for it. Lose this, and Sangal could be on the track to lock it in double digits.
Couple flashes in, try and get a look in towards the lobby area, hut area, but nobody really around. Just 5-7s. Can be a bit difficult on a map like Nuke, but you would assume that Sangal should be able to see this one through. Quite a quiet start into this round, though.
Enzi holding for a swing out here from lockers, and at least for now, nothing being given up. Pretty slow start, but at least for Sangal, they've got decent room to work with and all the rest. Pop flashing towards heaven. Nobody there. One playing up close main. There's actually a little wrap coming through secret, which could be pretty damaging, and it will. Aristosh gets one.
Oh my god, what is going on? Mutiris with the 5-7 to finish it off, but goodness gracious, Sangal, that is a huge blunder, man. And where did that even come from? They just all appeared out of nowhere.
These force buys are so janky. Back and forth, and Sangal never should be losing that sort of a round. That is actually ridiculous. The one prior, at least, you know, when Sangal won their force, they had an AK to work with, and they picked up another rifle very quickly. That's full pistols converting. So, once again, tie the game back up and put the advantage in their court in terms of the firepower. Jota's an AK-47, but another great buy across the board, and Jota already tagged here is not easy.
Yeah, not looking good at all, is it really? But we'll see, we'll see. I mean, might be able to just make it work. Trade in hands, I suppose, is maybe the idea with that AK as well. Moment. Edge of the smoke business. Careful. The better of him, but he will keep the spray nice and clean. Just 2 remaining now for the Sangal side of things. Maybe they can get something going, but you would assume that sAw convert this and take themselves early lead. Yeah, looking good, man. Looking very good.
So, last man of LNZ. Linus trying to find something, and he will. Nice shot. On towards Aristosh, but to be honest, their 1v4 is out of the cards, and combination there. Ujerks and Materis will see it off as sAw finally break the deadlock on these 4 spies. Don't let it happen, and will now at the very least see a world to work with. Attack supposed to be called here by Sangal, and they don't have really a buy to work with. They're kind of forced into taking an eco. No 2 ways about it. That will give sAw double digits and a good chance at potentially going the distance here, taking us towards a 3rd.
Alrighty, Sangal, I think, wanting to stay exactly in this position, you know, and stay hot on the heels, really. Yeah, this is not looking great. They have to turn this around really quick, because it could just get away from them. It could be a very, very difficult recovery, maybe even impossible, you know, if they can't get the first opportunity back in their favor. So we'll see with this one there. I think definitely could slip away from them.
See. Off the back of the pause. Kind of a question mark has to be had here about Sangal. This T side is still very much based off the individuals. The game plan itself hasn't exactly looked great. Janky spot they've put themselves in. sAw probably get double digits here, no issues, and we'll see. At least have a full buy-in towards the next one. They probably don't have the enough for an AWP, I assume, unless they can get a bomb plant and a good amount of kills on one individual. A little dicey. Either way. 5 Glocks, one of them going towards door, 4 of them shift walking over towards round, so UJ can be tested momentarily.
Bursting their way in. He looks pretty good though, doesn't he? Yeah, that's a nice little spray down from him. Buys enough time for the support to come in as well, so Sangal not finding a single iota of pressure with that little burst attempt. To be expected though from what we could see. Saw up to the double digits. We really do not give them credit before it is due, because did that on Anubis. See how that one went. So Sangal looking to make themselves known. Absolutely have got to do so here. Seems like we have more of a technical pause this time.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, had a pretty long one coming in towards this map, sadly. Server changes and the rest. It does happen. You can only hope. There will be a buy coming through there for Sangal. See all the investments being made. And of course, a nice quick tech pause, thankfully. It says, okay. Nice and easy. Nice and simple. Back into the reinvestments as now a 10-8 scoreline. Sort of already getting to the now or never for Sangal. They do need to get basically a couple of rounds in a row if they want a chance here. They need to try and break that spine of sAw in terms of the recon. A little 4 AK, good amount of util to work with. At least a doable affair. sAw have a buy and plenty of cash on hand too. Story not even yet in towards the AWP either. Could get a next round if he is to fall here. Great start. Roman to find the first.
Yeah, pretty perfect for sAw, isn't it? To be honest, that early kill coming in. Sangal immediately have their work cut out. It's not the way that you want things to begin. It is looking more and more likely that we end up on that third map. A little close with the spam there. And down into Wood Secret as well. They're pretty much ready for this one. Vertigo, our third map, if it is going to be required, as it's looking like it will be at this point. But, yeah, another very difficult one to split. X-Floud, though, he's telling me to shut my mouth and concentrate on Nuke. You never know. Might stay alive here. An advantage does swing pretty heavily back in favor of sAw, particularly with that U-Jerk's kill. So I think Sangal not going to be able to fully recover this round by the looks of things.
SaMeyo. Trying to make a move here. U-Jerks and Roman will close it. And that might just spell us moving towards this map number 3 here. Bit of a marathon affair between these two, but Sangal, I feel like I've lost control of this nuke, and I feel like Vertigo is going to be a necessity. 11-8, 3-round lead, 2 more rounds needed for sAw, and they're basically gifted one of them here, where Sangal don't have the finances to work with. Tough spot. No 2 ways about it. Basically should be made 12-8 in just a second.
X-Floud might be a little annoyed at himself that he's not managed to get that kill. All the same, burst out towards A itself. They are split by a Molotov. A Rosdosh stands strong. Set for a flawless one here. SaMeyo flashing in. It's not going to blind anyone for all that long. 12-8. sAw, it seems, have really got the grip here into this second half. I don't think there is going to be much of a run back for Sangal.
I think you're right here. I think you are right. I feel like it's probably a non-starter. Was a pause out from Sangal, but they're requiring overtime here if they want to try and take this in 2, and even that does feel quite unlikely. Telling this T side hasn't exactly been all that great. Only 2 rounds picked up for Sangal so far. This T side, where 6 already for sAw, and they're looking for that 7th to push it towards Vertigo. We still have a conversation before going into it, but it's a really long kind of run back. But did it before, in all fairness. They were 11-4 down, like we mentioned, map number 1. Completely out of the realms of possibility. So I'm going to give them potential benefit of the doubt. Attack ball's done. Conversation concluded, and 4 in a row, it does feel quite unlikely for a T-side of Sangal that have never really given us too much to work with since heading in towards the second half. It's been only 4 spies, none of these full conversions. That's not something you can really kind of replicate all that often.
No, it is indeed true. Warp shot from Story might be the beginning of the end. xFloud does trade him out pretty quickly, however, and good timing from Jota there on A. Isolated fights all over the shop. However, Sangal find themselves a good lead. Could definitely swing out from under them pretty quickly. But Jota down below, I quite like what he's doing. Not getting too crazy. Not just, you know, holding W. He is playing things patiently and maybe even setting themselves up for a nice A play. At the same time, they're ready and waiting, trying to work B. So, you know, the Vents gives you a lot of options, I think, to work with at the end of the day. A Rosdosh trying to deny some of those options as he takes a kill with him. And another. Oh, no. All over the place. Spacing not looking good. 2 versus 2 now. I really don't know which way this is going to swing.
Bomb goes down. 2v2. They're going to come down towards Vent as well. Won't really do all too much, but it's maybe a little bit of information gatherer, but a huge jerks will find xFloud. Jota, the last man standing, the swing and the spot on the jiggle as well. Swinging a find. That is a confidence play from Mutiris. You love to see it. Swing and a find. That's 13, and that is going to be sAw, pushing us towards that third and final decider. Vertigo is now going to be required to try and close out this series. And hey, absolute credit. I mean, for sAw, it took a while. Got going at the tail end of that T side, and then CT side was basically only one-way traffic off the back of the 4 spies. Now we have to look towards Sangal in terms of responding. Couldn't quite make that one stick in the way they would have hoped. That new patch. We'll have to get confirmation visually once we get in here. But we're heading on the way in towards Vertigo in just a moment. And excited about this one. Looking at it, though, it is actually, at least by the flyby, the old patch. So, we're on the way. I see the new patch, though. I see that opening over towards the A side. So, all is good. Let's see how much these two sides have had to kind of prepare on this new match. How many officials have actually played on it is probably relatively minimum. It's only been a few weeks now.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. I think it's my first cast on the new look Vertigo as well. So we'll see how it pans out. At the moment, nothing new as it's a B hit coming around. We do indeed see some action out over towards the old hole in the wall. 3 versus 3 is only brief as Roman looking very, very good before getting that bomb planted. Trying to show that his age really does not affect his ability here. Jota nearly getting dropped, but I guess crept under the crosshair of Mutiris there. The Julie's looking to try and close the gap, find these frags. You jerks comes round for the double at the end, though. And sAw take the pistol.
Good start for them. Very least. This is a start that Talk can be a little bit confident about. Of course, all the kills coming through. Bomb on as well. They can now get at least a decent kind of buy come through. Early tack pause, in fairness, out here by Sangal. Maybe a little haphazard, has to be said. I mean, I don't know if they spotted something. I don't know if it was even meant, right? Maybe it was an accidental tack pause called and instead they meant tech? Hopefully not, but...
Yeah, I think the xFloud is in there twice, so...
that would make sense. So it is actually of a technical nature, so we'll see. But, yeah, at least for now, good start for sAw. For the Sangal side, they've, you know, bases is halfway of map 2. They've looked pretty rough.
Yeah, man. No, I definitely agree. So we'll see. We'll see. I think sAw kicking things off in their favor is really not a great look for Sangal. I think they'll be a little disappointed in themselves that they let it slip away like that. It wasn't super close for them, don't get me wrong, but a nice start on B. They just really left an oversight in at middle. and it meant that it ended up being, you know, a massive scrap, which, again, those Glocks are big fans of. And you do have to say, maybe the blunder does come in the fact that Roman found 2, U-Jerks found 2, should these players have been traded. Probably. Definitely Roman. But he was able to get the kills, get that bomb plant, all in the space of about 3 seconds. So, you know, a few mistakes from Sangal. Fatigue maybe of the series starting to get to them as well here.
SaMeyo. Looking here with the scout. Has been spotted now, so they're going to be trained on the angle. SaMeyo not rushing either, but they spotted at least 2 towards the A side. They probably should expect at least a couple more. Question is, do they, right? All goes quiet, though. Just shy of a minute, and they're still pumping the brakes here, SaMeyo. Not committed to this play, but the boost is good, and X Factor found 1.
It's a good look. Get that M4 activated. SaMeyo with the scout. How do we approach, you know, this new angle out on the rafters? They're not quite sure. Oh my goodness. And Sangal just absolutely mowing them down. Yeah, SaMeyo really struggling to get in there. And again, in particular, that scout just kind of holding the angle on the corner. A bit easier to work the cover as well. Really, really well done from Sangal.
Good work. Back into that force buy wars that we saw on Nuke, and I don't know, no consistency. So 1-1, and sAw will force buy back in themselves. Not going to pistols all they've got to work with. Nade is chunky though. This damage to his youngster and a liner, so at least you can take the small little positives there, and they need that. They want a chance here with these Eagles. And that Tech 9. SaMeyo can respond with this sort of a buy. They're really, again, going to show the instabilities of this Sangal side that they did on towards Nuke. Force buy, looking to try and finish B here. Jump up, leg spotted. Spam is good for damage, not enough for the kill. As Mateus will get 1.
Cloud standing strong here. Mateus going to get another before going down. Youngster very, very low, so they do have to watch themselves a bit. Linus nearly falling to the Deagles. So it is just going to be U-Jerks now. Oh, he nearly got the drop there, but he has been spotted. Quick cross from him. Deagle comes close. I don't know where that second bullet went. We saw it whiz what looked to be straight into the chest of Linus to me, but I suppose maybe it went in between chest and arm in that little gap. All the same. Kill doesn't come off. Sangal take the lead.
So, Sangal on the CT side, that's the start they want. He's going to give them a little bit of room now. Force buy, no bomb plant, the round win. Should mean that Sangal can spiral at least a little bit on the offset. Buy off them here. Slow round towards deep ramp B as well. Leg spotted. SaMeyo's Molotov by force of fight to a degree. And he comes through. There's a decent chunker towards U-Jerks. The flank with the MP9 gets to make that 3. Nearly a 4th as well, but that's a lot of cash in the back pocket.
Pretty good stuff. Keep the money rolling here. Hopefully get the round nice and easy as well. But, yeah, the MP9 doesn't want to be given any more kills, you would say. That's exactly what they're after, but with the 2-man stack here, surely not a chance, and that is indeed the answer. So, Sangal rolling through pretty well. Get those simple rounds on the board, but the force buy in particular looked absolutely fantastic. So if they can have a bit more of that, employ the same sort of logic into this first rifle, Sangal could get off to a flying start.
3-1. So back into the investment. Bring a couple of kills to the table though, so I've got the flourishing firepower I guess you'd want to see, but I thought these could be workable. Again, early ramp control has been a priority here for sAw, but they're not too aggro with it. Bit of early util, but then start, though. Saw a lot of resources used towards ramp, but then it looks like they want to commit back towards B, and Sangal haven't at least overcommitted here.
No, true. Youngster at the top end here. It's SaMeyo that's having that spam down. Youngster just ready and waiting for, you know, maybe someone to get cheeky in and around this smoke. Not looking to be likely, but at least having their presence at the top end of ramp there. SaW waiting for the smokes to go down. Slowly making their way upwards. Sangal, again, working around all these new changes. Nice smokes coming around from SaW, though. They've also been doing their work, and a pretty open fight coming in towards Headshot. Not a bad look, I would say. The even 1-for-1 trade is pretty good. Is there anyone in deep? No one just yet. More smokes round from SaW. Nice and open area for them to work with now. Mutiris out on the new rafter area. Looking to just take out those rotators. He's a bit lucky to be left on 1 HP, but steals away another. Story following in the footsteps. Picks off the close player, spotted the far one. Jota, no time to work with at all. They've absolutely got him locked in here. Round 1, kill comes in, and SaW answering with their second.
Nice work. SaW needed as well. If they hadn't, they would have been in a tough spot where at the very least things could have started at least looking positive towards Sangal for SaW. This should now give them a little bit of room, but Sangal back in towards a buy. Only a bonus for them. This time they got an AWP to work with. SaMeyo had a rough showing though on Nuke with the AWP. CT side for him got it exposed a couple of times, so maybe a little bit more leverage here on this Vertigo. But Vertigo is kind of notoriously known as one of the harder maps for AWPers to play on. Once again, similar thing. Molotov over towards Tar, but not committed to a fight early ramp, and Youngster going to get a little active here. Moving his way down, going to tuck on the corner. It's the Irish Dosh for the first, and SaMeyo falling away with the AWP 2. Leaves Youngster alone here. We'll get 1. Make that 2. He's giving themselves a chance, and he's still gone untraded.
Yeah, good stuff. Very good stuff indeed. I mean, the game continues to bounce around here. Not quite over just yet in this round itself. Rosdosh looking to try and close the gap. xFloud gets a flash in. They've got it covered a little bit, but he does go off by himself. Linus kind of baiting out a bit here. In and around that back pillar. Looks pretty good though, doesn't it, to be fair. Finds a kill. Sets up another secondary nade. Will get it done. That was a lot better. It's Roman on the back side. Oh, goodness. They are very brittle here on the Sangal end. Nearly finishing off SaMeyo. He's got to work quickly, though, because Youngster is coming in from behind, and this surely has to be a free kill. It is indeed. Nice pick up. Sangal getting number 4. Again, keeping that back and forth, you might say, but of course, the way that the score is working, it looks pretty good for Sangal.
Yeah, not bad. At least a little bit of a buffer zone is the main thing. So, looks like attempts to force by any. They actually are going to go for this. Not bringing a lot to the table, though. Double Galil AK and then upgrade to pistols is not the best to work with. So, an audacious decision to say the least to go in for a force, especially off the back of not getting a plant down. Mach 10, double Tech 9, AK and a Galil is what they bring. They're a rough one. Second A could do a lot of damage too. Yeah, Mutiris and U-Jerks really chunking those nades. Laban Spray was thought to be the first to fall.
Youngster after a little more. It's Jota that kind of steals the limelight for a second. Quiet moment in the round. SaMeyo again, trying to figure out an angle. You know, what's working? Is there an off angle around here? He's going to stick to what he knows, though. Bit more conventional in at door. Youngster coming in round that corner. Difficult to deal with. Will go down. And I would say surely dealt with, but Roman does actually get another before falling. I feel like it's all going to be in vain, unfortunately. Serious let down by the Galil. And Sangal stretching their lead further.
Decent little run here. Very kind of choice decision has to be said, though, for sAw going in for that force buy. I'm not too sure what kind of decision making is behind it, because you give yourselves no leverage. You're not even bringing a lot to the table there anyway. We'll see, though. No buy here. Bar, a couple of upgrades. So Sangal should guarantee the bare minimum a tied game. Then we have to look at kind of maybe what sAw can respond with at the tail end of this half. But so far, not so good. They're not really building great foundations on this T side. That's why we did get worried about this map a little bit. And this best of one basically is for tournament lifeline. Not looking good for sAw thus far. Not about to start for Sangal in this round. 2 kills go their way. Nearly a third.
Oh my, another messy exchange here. That's a lovely find from SaMeyo in the end, though. Clean up house at the top end of ramp. Triple kill for him. Honestly, a name that I wasn't, you know, super familiar with coming into this game. Doing my sort of research beforehand. Been around for a little while, you know, in Anonymo, who I guess were even still going into this year. I thought they had kind of finished up. I'd not casted or seen Anonymo for quite a long time. But, you know, keeping it going, kept gaming, I suppose. Qualifiers, playing in the European Pro League. But ultimately, a name that, you know, I wasn't super familiar with. And he looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He looks pretty good on this Sangal team.
He is. He does. You know, a bit of a rough showing on Nuke, but sometimes kind of have one of those maps. 6-2. As we are seeing a couple of these individuals really shine over towards Sangal. It's sAw who are feeling the pressure. Back into a buy. This one is lost. They're really in trouble. They could go down 7, 8 at a bare minimum. Sangal doing really good work. And sAw just aren't changing anything. Flying in towards these fights, nothing's working, and then not changing anything in that one. Aristosh gets a bit of fortune, spam through the smoke, finds a headshot. As he just follows the tracers. We'll get that first. SaMeyo might have an opportunity here. There is a bit of presence in through mid, but not confirmed to the fight just yet. No swing. You jerks. What a close swing and a fine gets one. Should get traded. Doesn't just yet, but SaMeyo will find one at least.
Oh, youngster, close fight. Surely got to go down here. Oh, just managed. It looked like it just managed to maybe get away, but no, story. Tracked in pretty quickly. X-Cloud, caught in transition by Muterius, and all over the place. Round from sAw. Still got SaMeyo to get through. Of course, his presence already been known in this round. Making a lot of noise now. Flash over the top. Gets through that smoke. Ooh. It's a nasty little quick scope, isn't it? But they were on top of each other. Thank goodness for the instant trade.
My God, close. No cigar sAw will get that third, but still made pretty expensive. So at the very least, maybe a chance here where Sangal can actually respond back. They got a little bit of money. It's not the best, but I mean, have to squeeze out a buy. At least Jota feels so. You should really go for this. You might take a little bit of a hit in terms of lesser utility, but it's worthwhile firepower-wise. Double Galils have to come through for sAw as well. Sangal, take attack pause for heading towards this next round. 5 M4s across the board for the CT side. So even despite maybe losing that round, they still look a little bit better in terms of the firepower. The only difference being that AWP for Story. Heading towards round number 10. Win this for sAw, and they're going to, at the very least, put up a worthwhile T-side half. Lose this, and it's still at jeopardy of being a little too rough. We'll see. 6-3 is okay so far for Sangal. They'd like to get at least 7, if not 8.
Quiet start into this one as sAw just winding the clock down initially at the bottom of ramp. absolutely need to continue this, get themselves a bit of a streak. So quiet, though. Oh, is there a peak coming in? I mean, I don't rightly know. With 4 CTs at the top end of ramp, they do not want to give the game away at all. Return flash. Not quite there. You Jerk's actually going to get a double out of it. Maybe they can still make something of this. SaMeyo does go down. Jota on the other side, on B, has to play this perfectly. Oh, the timing is there, and a Rozdosh not on the AK makes a difference for him as Jota is able to survive. Get that flash in, redirects for a wild move there. Does mean he goes down. It's just going to be xCloud remaining. Quick flank from this guy, though.
Make a little move. Yeah, we're going to get caught by Roman. So we'll find a 4th, and now give themselves a really good chance. No buy here for Sangal, so there's basically a 5th. And a very scrappy start. It looked like for a chance there for Sangal, but then let's slip away. The individual fights don't look too good. Yeah, they can't really do anything here, Sangal, so they're reluctantly going to have to give up a 5th over towards sAw, unless they can convert a miracle with the USPSs, but I do not think it's going to happen. We'll see. Side up close, going to be the first contact.
Jerks looking good. Doesn't actually have any support even now. To be fair, it'll start moving in, but maybe a little slow there. He definitely could have gone down. All the same, somehow doesn't, and they come away with a flawless round. Not going to have too much of an effect, to be honest. You know, whether they get the round with 5 or indeed with 1. They've got plenty of money going into the final round of this here first half.
So, trying to make something happen there. Kind of just feed up a little bit, don't they? Not even getting that consolation kill. Final round of the half, 6-5. It's an even game here, no two ways about it. In on that corner. Jota, though, through the smoke, spams down, finds Materis.
xCloud hidden away at back 90 here. Looking good. Decent timing. Trying to get a bit more as well, and he will. Story suddenly. All that's left for sAw, and certainly not looking the best. You know where he's at. Trying to close the gap and take him down as well. On the edge of the smoke, in comes Jota to get the job done. So a slim lead for Sangal. Kind of wild that sAw were even able to convert 5. You see how blue it was there on the scoreboard, particularly at the start of the half. All the same, that is going to be a pretty keen showing out from Sangal. Definitely better than what I was expecting from them here on Vertigo. We're going to take a break and we'll get into that second half very soon. And we are back into the action here, of course. Pretty difficult to separate these two teams, it feels like, after that first half. But as I kind of said, I'll just sort of mention the point again. I felt like Sangal maybe won the more influential rounds, you know, the tighter rifle rounds, 4v3 situations, things like this. So sAw maybe a little lucky in places, and now on the CT side, they have to prove themselves.
Yeah, it'll be tough. Will be indeed. 7-5 advantage, Sangal. I mean, it goes without saying, this hasn't been the best series for either of these two teams. They've both looked very much off their game. Very scrappy. Very rough to watch Counter-Strike, but I guess probably understandable why they find themselves here in this lower bracket. Haven't exactly looked both brilliant throughout the season, but shall see. 7-5 as Sangal look like they want to pop towards B here. At the very least, they should get the site. Smoke and over towards CT, but Materials will make sure it takes a scalp before they get the site itself.
Yeah, lovely stuff. He does get traded pretty quickly, though. Bomb plant going to go down, and now it's all on the Julies, really, that are looking to get in here. And at the moment, they can't, because the smoke's in the goddamn way. They will eventually go down, however, and now the charge begins moving forwards, but the kills look good for the T, and just Story remaining, and he was not ready for where Youngster had hidden himself away. The 8th round, and that pistol will go the way of Sangal, so looking very, very good here for the mix.
So 8-5 now, and well, for sAw, they're put really on the back foot. Pause gonna be called though by sAw. He's feeling a bit of that pressure, and I don't really blame them. Sangal should get a 9th here. That's a 4-round buff, and before you know it, a little position they put themselves in. At 8-5 though. I really don't feel that great about sAw thus far. We haven't seen a lot from them that's given us that much confidence. We'll see, though. Double Mac 10, triple Mac 10, in fact, and a Galil AK. At least those Mac 10s, they get active. They can get a lot of cash in the bank. Potentially even could net Sangal and AWP out for SaMeyo if he wants, going in towards the next round. Of course, this is tournament life here. Lower bracket here. Of course, no second chances or anything of the sort. Lose this, we say goodbye. Winner will be taking on 3D Max in the next stage, which is no easy feat. Over the other side of the bracket, it's Rush B versus Aurora as well. So potentially a doable run here. Rush B, they've been relatively competitive this season. They don't play a lot of Counter-Strike outside of ECL. Comes back 10. Finds the first. The Galil will deliver for the second. Eco being put to bed quite easily here. Jota gets a double. That's cash in the bank. That's what we wanted to see. 3 kills in the Mac 10. Nice and easy. The last one, Materius. Also fall as well. So, all in all, Mac 10's going to get their kills. Going to get plenty of money. That's what we wanted. Sangal, flawless round coming in against the Eco. Simple as. Can't really ask anything else.
Yeah, close. Very, very close to being a sneaky move there from Mutiris. I was all ready for that. You know, the positional play could have been pretty funny, but he didn't quite pull it off. So, let's see. sAw, I think, immediately for me, have got to pick this one up. Otherwise, Sangal are just looking down the barrel of the victory. What is the game plan for sAw? It's a little harder on the CT side of Vertigo to get super proactive, especially without early fights going your way. But maybe they can cook something up. Maybe they can just be very ready for the B hit, and I think they will be, you know. 4 players in incredibly close proximity. One going to go down, second falls, and that's the big one. A Rozdosh Does get traded, but it's cost a fair amount. Bomb has yet to be planted. It's this middle play from Youngster that was looking to do the work. He will find Roman, and he will eliminate Mutiris as well. Huge two-piece in at mid to give Sangal number 10.
Yeah, and this now might spell the beginning of the end here. I don't really know what this left to work with. If you are sAw, looked off their game, off their ball. There's pretty dire signs if this is them leading up towards Blast London. Haven't really looked that clean. The size that are going to be there at Blast London are considerably better. Like we said, though, they're normally a team that play up to their opponents, but can also play down to the level. And while Sangal looked quite rough at times as well, sAw just look worse. They are in a tough old spot. Attack pause concluded 10-5. No buy here as well, so Sangal should get 11. And before you know it, this game feels like it's really on its last legs. It's going to take some considerable resurgence out of sAw to see any sort of chance of then getting back into this. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Super rough. But, yeah, I'm unsure. They should have really been the favorite team here today. They've not really played like it at all. Maybe that first half of Anubis, actually. If I'm to give them some credit, I thought that was pretty clean. 8-4. You know, no real sweat off the brow. But, I don't know. Maybe it is the fact that they let that 11-4 slip away from them.
Sure.
That sort of affected them throughout the entire series. Because there was a lot of moments. They'd lose a player super early, and they'd be like, all right, save. You know, they were playing a very, very, very high percentage game. I think it is worth arguing. And, you know, Anubis retake's not the most challenging thing in the world. A little bit of RNG involved on A in particular, with just kind of, can you peek out and win that camera fight? B has a lot of smoke spams, I suppose, that you can try and make work as well. So it would have been nice to see them go for the retakes over there. The Anubis is certainly the breakable, downable map, and Nuke, it felt like, was just a mess, to say the least. Vertigo, a little less so, but only if your name is Sangal.
Yeah.
Here we go, though, in towards this A bomb site. Keen start for sAw. Oh, and looking to get a bit more as well. The AK of Story in particular looking pretty strong. 1 versus 3 for xFloud. Mutiris has now got the AK. What is he going to do with it is the big question of the hour. Very messy over here. xFloud, though, creeping forwards. He's caught him behind. It's watched by a Rosdosh. And the force buy won out by sAw.
I mean, this keeps happening, right? We keep seeing these force buys getting converted. Both sides, percentage-wise, way higher than average on the force buys, but it's keeping the sAw side alive. Attack pause is going to be called here again by Sangal. They know they need to close this out. It's something that sAw struggled with in map number 1, and they don't want to repeat the same mistakes. I don't really blame them. Shall see, though. Not convinced about sAw just yet. They're not giving me enough, at least, to opt off the back of it. Pause done. At the very least as well, Sangal get a buyout here. Basically, bar Linus, who goes in towards a Deagle to prioritize utility. I don't hate this play. Try and get the others active. Linus has been a little bit quiet by his standards as well so far this map. So he's feeling off on Vertigo. Just try and be a bit of a supporting aspect. Especially if you want to get the kind of the riflers active. Jota and Youngster for me have looked very, very solid.
Alrighty, let's see. Will it be the Keen return or sAw going?
Story making a move though, trying to get proactive. And I don't hate this play. I feel like it's probably a worthwhile decision. Give yourself a shot at this on the corner. Bit of a flash shot, and xFloud going to find yet another Beautiful swing and a find.
Nice pickup from Roman, though. Maybe keeping them in proceedings. Bomb goes down. There is that kit in the hands of Roman. A few smokes as well to work with. Story above will get Linus. He's actually in behind there on the flank all the same. Has he maybe created a bit of space? They're trying to isolate some fights here. Desperately trying to get those kills. Not going to happen for sAw. Sangal, confirm 11.
So 11-6. I think now this does feel like the tail end. Oh man, there's been these chances and these opportunities for sAw, but they've not looked clean, they've not looked good, and that one thrown away. X-File a little double to open things up. First with the nade, second with the swing, and before you know it, that's basically all concluded. Final attack pause here for Sangal. It's just to try and confirm things in their favor. It basically lost the raw buyout for sAw 2. Get an open play for Story, an M4 out for Roman, and then a few upgrades, but it's not great. Chances feel slim unless Story, you can really get active with that AWP. But he has been a little quiet this series, hasn't done all too much, so not too sure.
All right, man. Last chance saloon, it feels like for sAw, but yeah, no, I'm definitely agreeing with you. Story has not really been popping off, but then nobody on the sAw side has, I think, turned our heads massively. Where it feels like, you know, youngsters being pretty good throughout the series. X-Floud, not bad at all. So, you know, there's been a little bit more to write home about, I think it's safe to say. Maybe you've got Mutiris, you could argue. He did quite well on the first map, did okay on the second map, so he's maybe your consistent factor, to say the least. But yeah, there's not been anything super crazy, it feels like, from the side of sAw. Definitely not on this map. Okay.
All right.
Linus. All right. That's a bit unreasonable, isn't it? Jota going to find a Rosdosh. That might just be all she wrote pretty quickly, at least into this round, if not the game itself, if they continue being this one-sided and Jota's just running rampant on B. They're not even going B. Not even going B, man. But he will keep it up over here and draw so much attention. Hello?
Okay, fair enough. Right, you just get one. But I don't know if it's going to make a difference here. I think even the second the U2 comes down, you've got to say, the AK and the M4, do not lose them.
Disconnected, mate. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say,
just stood there. I think he was out of ammo, so it's like, okay, fair enough, but a bit weird that he didn't even get caught like reloading or running out of ammo. He just stood there, you know, with his mouse one button in, not reloading. But it would make sense that he potentially timed out in the middle of a fight. Does it make a difference? No, but it looks kind of funny.
Does, yeah. And I guess while this like timer ticks down for end of the round, you hope you can kind of rejoin back in. I think, hopefully, only a brief one in terms of the technical issue. You would hope, because it is most likely the final round at 12-6. They got a bit of money to work with, but they're not going to get a fully fledged buyout here if you are sAw. Tough old spot they put themselves in. Of course, we do have the tech issue. But everyone's back in the server now, so it's okay. No more 2 X-Flouds. Yeah, reinvestment, nice and simple. 12-6 now. Sangal, map, series point, and trying to stay alive here in the lower bracket. It will be elimination for sAw, it seems. Unless they can try and convert this. They got an MP9 to work with, alongside the full rifles, in all fairness, and actually more utility than I thought they would squeeze together. We shall see. Map and series, and yeah, like I said, you know, for the sAw side, it's been a bit of a questionable series. Come back to it again, 11-4 up. They were up on Anubis, choked that one out to lose 13-11, and then this has been a non-starter of a Vertigo. I mean, it really has not been a great series from them, and it is, you know, pretty concerning times with last finals in London coming up very soon. And They have looked very, very shaky.
Yeah, you do worry a little. You do worry. And again, the thing is, it's like, are you going to make a deeper run in the playoffs of ECL here? Maybe not. It's a difficult time for you scheduling-wise, as you mentioned with Blast. And, you know, it's a difficult tournament. There's some pretty scary teams in here that spam the games out online and can be hard to predict on a given day. However, going down this early, only the second round of the losers bracket, really is just not good enough from sAw. They are one of the premium tier 2 teams, one of the premium ECL teams, and as we've touched on throughout the day, they aren't a squad that spam the games. You know, you've got Aurora with like 150 maps played in the past 3 months. sAw, that's not really their style. We'll see if they can put up a last defense here. Oh my goodness, the damage out from Story is absolutely enormous. None of it converts into frags, though, unfortunately. So just Mr. Roman, the old guard here, left to pick up the pieces. Not going to happen. Straight into the crosshair of the AWP, and that will be all she wrote. 2-1 in favor of Sangal. Very one-sided there on Vertigo. We thought it was going to come a bit closer, but no. The old guard tier 2 stalwarts of sAw will be checking out of the playoffs quite early here now. I think it is very much safe to say.
I had sAw as my